The SEC and the Big Ten have really been throwing their weight around at recent college football playoff meetings. Have the proposals from the Power Two made them the evil empire of college football?
From LA to Piscataway, all Big Ten all year long. This is Big Ten 10.
George Costanza once said, "We live in a society." Well, in today's society, in today's day and age, we are split on a lot of issues. We're more split and more divided maybe than we have ever been as a human race, right? If you're not on this side of the issue, well, then obviously you got to be over here, way over here on that side of the issue, right? There's not a lot of meeting in the middle. There's not a lot of gray area. And I believe that kind of bleeds over into college football as well. And what's been happening with these discussions within the college football playoff for 2026 and beyond. A lot of people might think it's pretty black and white, right? You're either Team Super League over here, or we got to have everybody together. We got to protect all that is college football access. We've got to maintain access to everybody over here. And sometimes there's not a lot of gray area. There's not a lot of meat in the middle, even in the topic that is college football. But as it pertains to our beloved Big Ten and the SEC, I believe that this thing maybe meets in the middle. It overlaps. There's a little bit more of a gray area than maybe some people realize. One of my favorite sayings out there: two things can be true at the same time, and I believe that exists here. Abuse of power, abuse of leverage. I believe the Big Ten and the SEC know that the power and the leverage that they possess, and they are wielding it right now. And they are making these, to be honest with you, outrageous proposals for automatic qualifiers as pertain to the two for the Big 12 and the SEC. Now it's come down, oh, how kind of them, to 3 automatic qualifiers. The multiple automatic qualifiers, I think, does more harm than good going forward in the college football playoff. But I'm not sure if the suits are really concerned about the good, the bad, the harm, etc. of college football right now. They bend the knee to the almighty dollar, which I will get to here in just a minute. So is what they're doing an abuse of power, an abuse of leverage? Absolutely. And it's not exactly endearing them to the rest of college football. Greg Sankey and Tony Petitti, right, are looking a lot like Darth Vader and George Steinbrenner right now to maybe the rest of the college football world. Maybe the evil empire, but maybe, just maybe, this is what the Big Ten and the SEC want right now. Maybe, just maybe, they want to be the bad guys, and they know what they desire. They know what they want. But they're just maybe trying to squeeze a little bit more dollars and maybe a little bit more access out of everything here as well. So abuse of power and abuse of leverage, that can be true. But you know what else can be true? Greg Sankey, Tony Petitti, they are doing their jobs to an absolute T. Conference commissioners, they serve university presidents, they serve university chancellors, they serve athletic directors. What if all 3 of those people want more than anything? Moolah. They want money. Money has driven this sport really ever since television really took a gigantic surge in the 1990s and then in the 2000s. We were kind of destined, I believe, for this situation that we've been in. Now, because we don't have a central body like professional football does with the NFL, because we don't have a commissioner like the NFL does with Roger Goodell, we live in silos. So people like Tony Petitti, people like Greg Sankey that have the most powerful brands, programs, and conferences, they can wield their power like this without any checks and without any balances as well. So you might not agree, and I do not agree, the way they are going about things, but this is the world that we've built for ourselves. They recognized that they are stronger together than apart. Now, let me just quickly talk about some college football playoff stuff before I really bring, because this is deeper than the college football playoff. I think you recognize this. I recognize this as well. right? They're talking about having the Big Ten and the SEC conference champions as the permanent buys in a 14-team model where the top two conference champions would get a pass into the next round, and the Big Ten and the SEC are trying to protect their conference championship games by saying, yep, every single year from now until the sun explodes, that's going to be us, and it has to be us. You know what's going to happen? 99 years out of 100 years? Yes, it's going to be the SEC, and it's going to be the Big Ten, but they're trying to throw their weight around in order to capture as much nickels, dimes, and dollars as they absolutely can. Let me throw two names out there, two names of states. Tennessee and Virginia. It has completely blown this thing wide open. NIL went from the wild, wild west to an absolute and utter free-for-all. As much of the conversation might be about the college football playoff, the financials of it, of course, are driving this entire conversation. You know what's going to happen a year, 2 years, 3 years from now? Athletes are going to be employees. Look what's happened in the states of Tennessee and Virginia. Look what happened with the Dartmouth basketball team as well. Look what's going to happen with USC, the Pac-12, and the National Labor Relations Board. These universities, especially at the Power 2 level, are trying to bring in as much cash as possible before athletes become employees, because they know they are going to have to be paying these guys out of their own pocket. And they don't want to sacrifice facility upgrades. They don't want to sacrifice, their own salaries. They don't want to sacrifice those things, but they know the direction that college athletics and college football is going, and they know everybody's going to be looking at them. The teams in the SEC and the Big Ten is, you're making all this money now from your regular season TV deals. And now your postseason TV deal? Yeah, you're going to have to pay these players. And they're trying to squeeze every ounce of leverage, every ounce of money out of this entire situation. What do I believe that they really want? I really believe we are headed to a world where the SEC and the Big Ten break off. I'm not saying a full break off where they could get full autonomy within the NCAA. I know that's been floated out there as an idea as well. But as it pertains to a football postseason, at first I thought this was kind of a wild and crazy idea, but if you've kind of seen some recent articles from Ross Dellinger and some of the other credible reporters out there, this thing might be swinging back towards an SEC Big Ten Super Bowl type of model as well. Would it be interesting? Would it be intriguing? Yes. Would it have a lot of viewership? Also, absolutely yes. I believe the leaders of college football believe they can do this, that they can do pretty much anything they want in order to bring in as much money as possible. They know that they can do this, really, because all of you. Because of the rabid fan bases that is college football. For as much as college football is going to change, and it's going to change a lot in the next 2 to 3 years, you know what's still going to happen? The sea of red in Lincoln is still going to be there. We are still going to have whiteouts in Happy Valley. We are still going to have marching bands. We are still going to have the electric entrances that are college football. We are still going to have what the core of what college football is. And they know that that is going to keep on bringing the college football viewer back. No matter what changes there are to the postseason or maybe the teams that you play on a weekly basis, they know college football fans are some of the most intense fans in all of sports. And it's absolutely true. And if someone wants to call them the evil empire because of what they've done, because of lining their pockets in order to be able to pay players in the future, then so be it. We live in a complicated society. Multiple things can be true. Buckle up. I'm sure this is going to be a wild ride.
Thanks for watching Big Ten TED, where it's all Big Ten all year long. Make sure to like the video to spread the word of Big Ten TED to the masses, and subscribe to the channel for updates on Big Ten content that drops every day.